Hi all, welcome and thanks for tuning in. I'm Scott Schroeder from ScottySnacks.com, and today I wanted to share some thoughts with you all that I had from a recent trip to the Philippines, specifically Manila area. I was practicing hot yoga with two studios out there, Bikram Yoga Green Hills and Bikram Yoga Manila. Thank you guys for having me. Wonderful teachers, wonderful studios. Um, the main feelings and their thoughts and their feedback as I'm talking to family, friends, and new persons that I've been meeting as I'm sharing my story about going to the Philippines and ask me how it was. The first thing that comes to mind is just the level of happiness, joy, and generosity, kindness that Filipino people share with each other, and as well to me, myself, a traveler in their country. And it really hit home with me, just seeing the way they treat each other, and again myself, because I don't remember ever really feeling like that back home in the States. Seeing people so happy and so like eager to share that joy and that happiness with each other, and especially coming from the United States, um, we are at least 10 times more blessed with what we have than these people that I made contact with in the Philippines. Um, and it's kind of baffling to me. And I guess it's the cliche, less is more. But all cliches aside, it's the truth. Um, we don't seem to be as happy and or eager to share said happiness and joy with each other. So to my beautiful family back home in the West, I would love to beg you guys to make a call to consciousness, be more conscious about how we're feeling inside internally. If we're not happy, let's figure out what's not making us happy, and how we can change that happiness. And then once we establish that happiness, let's go ahead and share that happiness with the world and with others around us. Wish each other a good day, good morning, smile. Just a simple smile and looking in someone's eyes as you walk by them is very, very powerful. You can brighten up their day. And again, if you're not happy, maybe go outside and surround yourself with happy people. For sure, turn off the so-called news channels that majority of us subscribe to. So I'd love to thank the Philippines and my Filipino friends for having me in your beautiful country. And back to you guys on one side note. Again, I had a wonderful trip. The way they're treated everywhere you go, it's yes sir, and mind you, there's even older people, probably older to my grandfather, that are calling me sir. I was like, wow, how does this happen? And I know it's not just me because I hear them calling each other sir and just being polite with each other, just very loving and very polite. But one thing again to note um, that I was kind of unsettled and or uneasy and or sad about is the lifestyle there, the eating habits that I noticed. It's darn near impossible to find vegetables anywhere you go. Everywhere you look, it's fast food, it's meats, porks, beefs, a little bit of chicken. I didn't see too much seafood. Um, Literally no vegetables and fruits were to be found. And that's kind of shocking. Um, and maybe it's the lack of education. We've all, and even in the West, been brought up to think that we need excessive amounts of meat and their proteins, and we need to avoid complex carbohydrates and not worry about vegetables. Treat vegetables and fruits like a side. If you want a little, sure, have some with your huge steak. Um, Not to get too much into that particular topic for this video, because um, I really want to focus on the happiness and kind of my feedback here. But we definitely need to all open up our eyes and realize that it's not about meats and proteins; it's about vegetables and fruits. So that being said, to my beautiful Filipino people, I understand it's really hard because I was there for about a week. No, actually, 2 weeks. Sorry. And just finding, and mind you, I did find a couple good restaurants that I fell in love with, but just walking around town, if I want to go eat and I'm looking for, predominantly plant-based and or vegan meal with vegetables, great fruits from the earth, I couldn't. I had to go with like a chicken adobo and some rice, or, you know, a noodle dish and kind of scrape out the meats. Um, so what I would, recommend and or suggest is, possibly ask the local places that you're eating at. Say, hey, we love your adobo. Can you maybe mix it up? Give us, like a mushroom adobo one day, and some broccoli here, some broccoli on the side. Sure, we'll still eat your meats, but if you give us more veggies, we'll buy that and we'll eat it too. Um, and as far as the fast food goes, guys, I don't think you need me to tell you, but that is not healthy food at all. So, sure, it's on every corner and readily available, and it's where the marketing and the consumerism is kind of drawing us to. But we definitely need to listen to our bodies and be more conscious of what we're eating and realize that this fast food way of life, it does nothing but make us just unhealthy. Um, and even, some people might argue, it's cheaper. I'm finding here in Southeast Asia, you can go to a fast food restaurant, I've asked certain people, and pay the same price that you would if you go into a local restaurant or a local mom and pop. So it really makes no sense to fill your body with foods that are not healthy and are only going to make you ill and, I guess live less. And that being said, once again, thank you guys very much for having me. It was a true pleasure to visit your country. I hope to be back sometime soon. Um, Actually, one other thing to note too, as I'm kind of finishing up, I was remembering, as I was talking with certain people in the Philippines, specifically some of the Grab drivers that were bringing me places to the yoga studios on certain occasions. And I was, trying to preach and to practice this same belief where, we need to eat better and we definitely need to consider our health a lot more. And a couple of people said, that's great. We'd love to, but it's so expensive for us. And I get that. In the States, it's absurdly expensive to practice yoga for myself. I think, if you're in California, it's at least $100 a month for unlimited, which is a pretty excessive amount. But if you compare it to medical costs, I personally don't take prescription drugs and never have, never will. But majority of people in the States are every month forking up money for their health care, as opposed to maybe putting that towards a yoga or meditation or whatever your safe exercise is for that month. So let's maybe consider doing something that we can improve our health as opposed to avoiding those costs and just sticking with these medical costs that we're paying. So back to the Filipino peoples, I understand it's expensive for you guys, the yoga studio. So perhaps ask your yoga studio, say, hey, what days of the week, what times are less busy for you guys, and maybe y'all can give us a special, a good rate that we can afford to come. Maybe it's an early morning class on Fridays, or again, whatever class or whatever day is going to be the most convenient um, for the yoga studio, so they're not losing their money and they're are able to pay their rent. But there's got to be a way. There's got to be empty slots available where you guys can see that hey, we can actually fill this class up with a couple more students. Why don't we give a great rate for our local Filipino people and get us all practicing together, get us all more healthy, living longer. You guys obviously have the happiness right now. You're sharing that happiness, and it's a beautiful thing. But let's take it to the next level. Let's be healthy and watch how much our happiness is going to grow afterwards. Thanks again very much, guys. Maraming, salamat po. It was a true pleasure to visit your country, and I hope to see you guys soon enough. Take care.